What is your favorite Simpsons quote? Bake him away toys. If you don't like your job, you don't quit. You go in there every day and do it really half a edition. It's the American English way. The fingers you have used to dial are too fat. To obtain a special dialing one, please mash the keypad with your PM now. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. Homer rifles underneath the sofa and pulls out a $20 bill. Homer, oh, $20? I wanted a peanut. Homer's internal voice, $20 can buy many peanuts. Homer, explain how. Homer's internal voice, money can be exchanged for goods and SS. I don't have to be careful, I've got a gun. Pretty much that entire episode is one long my favorite quote. English, side, must, use, French instructions. Leg grill, what the hell is that? Groundskeeper Willie, it won't last. Brothers and sisters are natural enemies, like Englishmen and Scots, or Welshmen and Scots, or Japanese and Scots, or Scots and other Scots. Damn Scots. They are Scotland. Princip Skinner, you Scots sure are a contentious people. Groundskeeper Willie, you just made an enemy for life. And I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it anymore, and what's it seems weird and scary. It'll happen to you. Homer's song I'm so smart, I'm so smart. S-M-R-T, I mean S-M-R-T. I sing this when I do something awesome or stupid. Smiles every time. For once maybe someone will call me sir without adding you're making a scene. Dad, you killed the zombie Flanders. He was a zombie? You'll have to speak up, I'm wearing a towel. They say he carved it himself. From a bigger spoon. Everything is coming up Millhouse. From Grandpa Simpson. We can't bust heads like we used to, but we have our ways. One trick is to tell them stories that don't go anywhere, like the time I see the ferry over to Shelbyville. I needed a new heel for my shoe, so I decided to go to Morganville, which is what they called Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now, to take the ferry cost a nickel, and in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, you'd say. Now where were we? Oh yeah, the important thing was I had an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time. They didn't have white onions, because of the war. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones. To the Flintstones tune. Simpson, Homer Simpson. He's the greatest guy in history. From the town of Springfield. He's about to hit a chestnut tree. Crash. It's perfectly cromulent. Stupid SY Flanders. Tour. The cause of, and solution to, all of life's problems. That's a paddlin'. Homer's BBBQ. The extra B stands for Bob. What's that extra B for? That's a typo. And the entirety of the frying game. Me fail English? That's unposable. The goggles do nothing. Teacher, if you leave milk out, it can go sour. Put it in the refrigerator, or, failing that, a cool wet sack. And put your garbage in a garbage can. People, I can't stress that enough. Don't just throw it out the window. Marge, this is so humiliating. Homer, taking notes, garbage in garbage can. Makes sense. My favorite episode. Had a rage time choosing one. Nobard is gay for Molman. Weaseling out of things is important to learn. It's what separates us from the animals except the weasel. Mrs. Krabappel and Princip Skinner were in the closet making babies, and I saw one of the babies and the baby looked at me. Trampoline. Drunk Homer, I shouldn't drive, it's dangerous. No, I shouldn't listen to myself, I'm drunk. Kent Brockman, ladies and gentlemen, we've just lost the picture, but what we've seen speaks for itself. The Corvus Passacrati has apparently been taken over, conquered if you will, by a master race of giant space ants. It's difficult to tell from this vantage point whether they will consume the captive Earthmen or merely enslave them. But one thing is for certain, there is no stopping them. The ants will soon be here, and I, for one, Welcome our new insect overlords. I'd like to remind them as a trusted TV personality, I can be helpful in rounding up others to toil in their underground sugar caves. This is the worst day of my life. The worst day of your life. A toss-up between me fail English, that's unposable, and I moved here from Canada, and they think I'm slow, A said real slowly. Oh, yeah, what are you gonna do? Release the dogs? Or the bees? Or the dogs with bees in their mouth, and when they bark, they shoot bees at you? Did you crash the car? No. Did you raise the dead? Yes. But the car's okay. I like my beer cold, my TV loud, and my HSULs flaming. I was saying burns. No beer and no TV make Homer so mine. It's like Speed 2, only with a bus instead of a boat. You think that's a knife? This is a knife. That's not a knife, that's a spoon. Homer, now what do you have to wash that AWFL taste out of my mouth? Street vendor, Mountain Dew or crab juice? Homer, ewajish. I'll take a crab juice. Grandpa, this flag only has 49 stars on it. It'll be buried in the cold ground before I recognize Miss Amazari. When Marge refuses to be a surrogate to earn money. But Marge, we are a team. It's you to us, not you to you. You're banned from the Springfield Historical Society. You, and your children, and your children's children. For 3 months. Adjuster, now, before I give you the check, one more question. This place Mose you left just before the accident, this is a business of some kind? Homer's brain, don't tell him you were at a bar. Gasps, but what else is open at night? Homer, it's a peography store. I was buying peography. Homer's brain, he. I woulda never thought of that. I have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no kids and 3 money? I call the big one Betty. I saw it in this movie about a bus that had to speed around the city, keeping its speed over 50, and if its speed dropped, it would explode. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. Dad, why did you bring me to a gay steel mill? I don't know. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces. Context. Chief Wiggum is looking for Mr. Burns in Burns' maroon Jetaway vehicle. Burns drives past Wiggum's outpost. Wiggum says that really was more of a burgundy. Stop. He's already dead. Oh boy, sleep. That's where I'm a Viking. Hello, I'm Mr. Burns. I believe you have a letter for me. Sure, Mr. Burns. What's your first name? I don't know. The older they get, the cuter they ain't. Homer to Selma on the phone. Listen us up for a second. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Super Nintendo Charmers. Willie here's ya. Willie don't care. Money can be exchanged for goods and SS. My Homer is not a communist. He may be a drunk, a pig, an idiot, a communist, but he is not a P-star. I love you, Dr. Zayas. Localized entirely within your kitchen? Yes. May I see it? No. But Marge, I swear I thought you'd never find out. Never, Marge. Never. I can't live the beyond down life like you. I want it all. The terrifying lows, the dizzying highs, the creamy middles. Sure, I might owe a few of the blue noses with my CY strident musky odors. Oh, I'll never be the dulling of the so-called city fathers who cluck their tongues, stroke their beards, and talk about what's to be done with this Homer Simpson. I've always liked this one. Football commercial. Take 2 tickets and see the game Sunday morning. Warning, tickets should not be taken internally. Homer, see, because of me they have a warning. In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics. We ain't tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas. No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburgers. I used to be with it, then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it is weird and scary to me. Homer, how was jerk practice, boy? Did they teach you how to sing to trees and build crappy air furniture out of useless wooden logs? Chair he's sitting in collapses. Stupid poetic justice. Save me Jebus. Homer. Bart saying grace, dear God, we paid for this food all by ourselves, so thanks for nothing. Don't make me run IMF lines of chocolate. Bart, what did ya do? Screw up like the Beatles and say you were bigger than Jesus? Homer, all the time. It was the T-Lane of our second album. http img3.wikia.nokaki.net cb 20,110,718,133,051 Simpsons part images 0 album _ the B Sharps, The Simpsons, bigger than Jesus. .jpg. Men, I'm a man of few words. Any questions? Is the poop deck what I think it is? Ha. I like the cut of your jib, sailor. What's a jib? Ah ha ha. Promote that man. They used to call me Kid Gorgeous. Then later on it was Kid Presentable. Then it was Kid Gruesome. And finally Kid Mo. My cat's breath smells like cat food. Have the Rolling Stones killed? I use this all the time. Do it for her. Hi diddly ho, neglectariness. When the Simpson kids get sent to foster care with the Flanders. Just look at all this beautiful foliage. It's not foliage, mom. It's foliage. Foliage. That's what I said, foliage. Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand. With Greece. No, Marge. With savings and wise investment. Yes, with Greece. Are you wearing a grocery bag? I have misplaced my pants. Imperiphragi, because I'm not smart. Sideshow Bob, honestly Cecil, I don't think any civilization in history called back quote chief hydroelectric engineer calling. Cecil stares intensely. Sideshow Bob, fine, fine. The ancient Cappadocians. I don't know why but it always cracks me up. Then why did I have the bowl, Bart? Why did I have the bowl? Bart, I'm surprised Dadsby prevented the release of toxic gas. Thank you, doctor. Oh, I'm not a doctor. This is the worst case of false advertising since my case against the never-ending story. Pray for Mojo. Coddards, looks like the Earthlings won. Kang, did they? Right now they have a board with a nail in it, but they won't stop there. Soon they will make bigger boards with bigger nails, until they make a board with a nail in it so big it will destroy them all. I am the Lizard Queen. Oh, Lisa, you and your stories. Bart's a vampire. Beer kills brain cells. Now let's go back to that building thingy where our beds and TV is. Homer buying a gun. 5 days but I'm mad now. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it anymore, and what's it seems weird and scary. It'll happen to you. Grandpa Simpson. When groundskeeper Willie said there's nary an animal alive that can outrun a greased Scotsman. After he put grease on his skin and starts running at Tear Santa's little helper. Don't know why, I always laugh when I think of that. It's just so random. Dad, your hand is jammed in the toaster. Get it off. Get it off. Phew. Dad, it's in there again. Saxamafoon. Not necessity my favorite, but the one I reference most often. In the episode where Homer pretends to be Selma's husband, so she can adopt a child from China. When they are on the plane heading in, Homer gets drunk and hallucinates a dragon who says, "L, give me your peanuts, and I'll let you ride on my back." Homer slurs, "You can have one." I'm apparently the only person who remembers this happening, but I say you can have one all the time. Ned, well, looks like someone's having a pre-rapture party. Homer, no, Flanders. It's a beating of gay witches for abortion. You wouldn't be interested. Agent sighs in frustration now when I say, "Hello, Mr. Thompson," and press down on your foot. You smile and nod. Homer, no problem. Agent, "Hello, Mr. Thompson," stomps on Homer's foot a few times. Homer stares blankly. To other agent, "I think he's talking to you." "You kissed a girl? That's so gay." Bart, it's time we brought you back to the one true faith, the Western branch of American English or Reformed Presbyterianism. Yes, eat all of our shirts. But many of my favorites are from Lemon of Troy, Springforth Burley Protector, and Save Me. On the golf course, Mr. Burns hand me my open-faced sandwich. Homer open-faced sandwich. Not today, old friend. Now walking by a noose hanging in the shadows. Keep out or enter. In a sign, not a cop. Maybe not quite a quote, but still my favorite. Even when it was the polar bears, I knew it was the immigrants. Mo. I'm so hungry I could eat at Arby's. Tried it once. Never will I be that hungry. Government official, we got a report that Lisa Simpson spotted a UFO. Lisa, I didn't see any UFO. Government official, that's right, miss, you didn't. Picking just one favorite Simpsons quote, that's unposable. It's a peography store. I was buying peography. The Rand Corporation, in conjunction with the Saucer people, under the supervision of the reverse vampires, are forcing our parents to go to bed early in a fiendish plot to eliminate the meal of dinner. We are through the looking glass here, people.